right, guys, so we're going to talk a little bit about the kip, especially as it relates to the kipping pull-up today. I really don't want to talk much about, is the kip good? Is it bad? Is it one thing or other? We do know, however, that the kip does sort of fall into our template of functional movement for a couple of reasons. It is a natural movement for overcoming an obstacle. It's, did you, in basic training, did you ever go over a wall, go over an obstacle?
Yes.
Was there any question as to whether or not you should do so strict?
No.
No. So it's a natural human movement, and it's something that is in our arsenal of functional fitness. Additionally, a second principle of it is it's a movement that begins in the core and ends in the extremity, the kipping pull-up, that is. So that's another sort of tenet of functional fitness. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time saying whether it's good or not, but it is a tool that you should use and have it in your tool bag. So the question comes up, when should I kip? How should I kip? When is it appropriate to do so? So we hear a lot of times, some people will say kip right off the bat. Other people will say wait till you have several strict pull-ups before you kip. But we don't see that that's true over a bunch of different cases. So there's guys, we were just talking a little bit ago, that there are guys that can do 20, 30 strict pull-ups, but necessarily probably don't have the motor control or necessarily core strength to actually do a kip. Additionally, there are people that can kip really well. A lot of former gymnasts can kip really well, but necessarily don't have the strength to do that pull-up. So that rule of having the strict pull-up or X amount of strict pull-ups is not a great barometer. I still would prefer you to be able to do a strict pull-up prior to kipping, because that's a strong indicator of shoulder strength and stability. But Josh and I were talking about, what is sort of a test, a self-test that you can do to know whether you should be kipping or not. Josh brought up this idea of stopping your kip in different positions, because ultimately when you do go to do that kipping pull-up, which just show us a couple kipping pull-ups really quick. So while it looks like he's just generating momentum to throw himself over the bar, it's actually, we see that he's going from this hollow body position to a Superman position, pulling and pushing away. It takes a lot of timing, right? Yeah, so a lot of timing and motor control, especially in that core. So one thing that Josh mentioned the other day is being able to stop that kip. Can you stop that kip in that Superman position, and can you stop it in that hollow body position? And that's probably the strongest indicator of being able to know whether or not I need to start kipping my pull-ups, or if that's a skill that I have. So just show us a couple examples of that, of stopping your kip. Good. So he's slowing down in different positions, stopping in that hollow body position. Good. And so he can really control how far he kips, how much of a hollow body he gets, how much of a Superman he gets, and really be able to adjust that. And he has that motor control to do so. Now, show us some early, I don't know if you can maybe do this, but show us some early kips of initiating that kip, but not necessarily being able to stop it. So, good. Yeah, I know he's trying hard not to, but he does have strong motor control. But what we'll see, though, is people will initiate that kip, and because that swing is such a natural human movement, you'll see that inability to stop that movement is probably his strongest indicator of shoulder dysfunction and lack of motor control from the core. So your takeaway is, before you jump right into kipping, or you say, I'm not going to ever kip, you're probably on two extreme ends of that discussion. But really what you should be working on is that motor control originating from your core and ending into your extremities. So thanks, guys.